Is it possible for a single group and an individual from within that very same group to simultaneously break a system that has long been regarded as the most sacred benchmark in the global music industry? And if that truly happens, are we merely witnessing a numerical achievement, or rather a historical shift that quietly reshapes how the world perceives international music dominance? That question no longer feels exaggerated when the names BTS and Jungkook once again shake the global landscape in a way that is difficult to explain using the established logic of the industry. At a time when many artists struggle to break into even a single major chart, what is happening now feels like an anomaly, a rare occurrence that not only sets records but also challenges limits once thought impossible for K-pop artists to surpass. The report, which first surfaced through the official SK Pop Culture account on the platform X on March 31, 2026, quickly spread like wildfire across the global digital space. The information revealed that BTS and Jungkook simultaneously debuted at #1 on 3 of the most prestigious charts owned by Billboard: the Billboard Hot 100, Billboard Global 200, and Billboard Global 200 XGL US. What makes this even more astonishing is not just the numbers, but the fact that the achievement was reached through 2 separate entities, one as a group and one as a soloist, at the exact same time. This phenomenon was quickly labeled by fans as a Billboard All-Kill, or BAK, a term that previously had no precedent in K-pop history on the global stage. It is not merely fandom jargon, but a reflection of something larger, a symbol that dominance is no longer linear, but can exist in layered and simultaneous forms. On one side, BTS secured the top position through the song Swim from the album Erarang, a project widely described as one of their most ambitious releases in recent years. The track not only showcases the group's musical evolution, but also demonstrates their ability to maintain relevance amid rapidly shifting global tastes. On the other side, Jungkook, through his song 7, presents a contrasting narrative, more personal, more intimate, yet with an equally massive reach. When these two paths converge at the same point, the peak of the world's music charts, an unavoidable question arises: is this still about collective strength, or is it increasingly about individual dominance emerging within the structure of a group? Industry analysts have begun debating this with unusual intensity. Some view it as proof that BTS has reached a level where each member possesses the power to stand independently without losing the group's collective identity. Others, however, interpret it as a sign of shifting focus, that the spotlight once evenly distributed is now beginning to concentrate on certain figures, in this case Jungkook. The reaction from ARMY, their global fanbase, is equally complex. On one hand, there is an overwhelming wave of pride, and euphoria rarely matched by other milestones in K-pop history. Social media is flooded with celebrations, global hashtags, and narratives of victory affirming this as a historic moment. On the other hand, more subtle and deeper discussions have emerged, questioning the long-term implications of this achievement on the group's internal dynamics. Will this extraordinary success strengthen BTS as a unified entity, or will it open the door to new interpretations of individual roles within the group? The answer may not be simple, and that is precisely where its complexity lies, and a broader context. This achievement also sparks reflection on K-pop's position within the global music industry. For years, K-pop has often been viewed as a regional phenomenon that successfully penetrated international markets through highly structured strategies. However, what BTS and Jungkook have accomplished this time appears to transcend that framework. This is no longer about market penetration or audience expansion, it is about redefining the standard itself. When a group and one of its members can dominate 3 major charts simultaneously, the boundary between local and global becomes increasingly blurred. What remains is a question of who can create the greatest impact, and in this case, the answer seems evident. Yet behind all the numbers, charts, and statistics, there is another dimension that often goes unnoticed: the emotional one. Swim and 7 may differ in style and approach, but they share one crucial element: the ability to connect with listeners on a deeply personal level. Perhaps this is the true key to the phenomenon, something that cannot be measured by algorithms or predicted by business models. And it is precisely at this point that the narrative becomes even more compelling. Because if this achievement is not only about strategy, not only about fandom, but also about authentic emotional resonance, then what we are witnessing may be far greater than a record. Is this the beginning of a new era where artists are no longer confined by collective or individual identities, but can move fluidly between both in ways never seen before? Or is this the peak of a long journey that will eventually reach saturation? No one truly knows. But one thing is certain. What BTS and Jungkook have accomplished this time has left a mark that will not easily fade. A mark that will continue to be discussed, analyzed, and perhaps even debated for years to come. And perhaps, just perhaps, beneath all of it lies a simple truth that has long been hidden beneath the complexity of the global music industry. That sometimes, to truly change the game, one must not only follow the rules but dare to break them. And as the narrative of breaking the rules begins to settle in the public's mind, the discussion gradually shifts into something far deeper than a simple celebration of records. Many are starting to ask whether what is happening is the result of perfect timing, or rather proof that BTS has entered a new phase where old standards are no longer relevant in measuring their impact. In digital discussion spaces, industry observers attempt to unpack this phenomenon through a more analytical lens. They note how Swim is not only strong in streaming numbers, but also demonstrates consistent longevity across multiple regions, while 7 by Jungkook shows nearly flawless cross-platform performance, combining digital metrics, radio play, and global consumption into a near-unbroken line of dominance. This combination creates something rarely seen, not just viral success but stability and scale at the same time. Yet it is precisely at this point that a more sensitive layer of questions begins to emerge. If one member can reach the same peak even when standing alone, will this reshape how the public perceives balance within a group? Will this achievement strengthen the collective identity, or instead highlight the differences in individual power within it? Some view this as a natural evolution. They argue that within a group as large as BTS, individual success is not a threat, but rather an extension of the brand itself. From this perspective, Jungkook's success as a soloist actually expands BTS's reach, bringing the group's name to audiences that may have previously been out of reach. However, others see this phenomenon as a critical turning point, a moment where the narrative begins to shift, where the public no longer sees the group as a single unified entity, but as a collection of individuals with varying levels of appeal. And in this context, the intense spotlight on Jungkook becomes the center of an unavoidable debate. Interestingly, amid all these discussions, the emotional response from fans remains the most dominant factor. The euphoria that emerges is not based solely on numbers, but on a sense of participation, the feeling of being part of history unfolding in real time. Every stream, every purchase, every interaction on social media feels like a direct contribution to the achievement. This phenomenon highlights that BTS's strength lies not only in their music, but also in the relationship they have built with their audience. A relationship that is no longer one-directional but collaborative, where the boundary between artist and fan becomes increasingly blurred. And perhaps this is where the greatest surprise lies. That behind what appears to be an impossible record, there exists a synchronized ecosystem, resonant music, precise strategy, and a global community moving with a shared purpose. A combination that, when aligned, is capable of creating something that not only breaks records, but also redefines what is possible in today's global music industry. However, the deeper this phenomenon is analyzed, the clearer it becomes that what is happening is not merely a peak, but a turning point. A growing awareness is emerging among industry players that this kind of dominance can no longer be explained by old formulas. When BTS and Jungkook are able to move along two different paths yet still meet at the same summit, the line between strategy and spontaneity begins to blur.